be showing you how to install and use the Easy Blocks Chrome extension. The first thing we're going to do is go to the Web Extensions Store for Chrome Web Store. We go in there and we're going to search for Easy Apply Bots. Boom. And once we're here, we see that we can add it. You can look through and see exactly, the type of things that it helped you with, but we already know that stuff, so we're going to add it to Chrome. So now that we have installed the extension, we just want to come here to our extensions icon and then pin the extension so that we have easy access to it. Now it's time to open it. Just click right there. You'll open it. You'll see that we are signed in under the email of the Google profile that we used. And it says, nice to meet you. We don't really know anything about you. Give us your LinkedIn profile. The purpose of that is to just make it easy. Fill out as little information as possible. You've already put all this stuff on your LinkedIn, so we don't want you answering those questions again. What you'll do is just go ahead and find your LinkedIn profile. So you come to linkedin.com here, and then we'll go here, view our profile, we'll copy that link, and now we can put it in here. And then you can just go ahead and hit submit. Now what it's going to do is go over my LinkedIn and then collect all of the information about me that it can. And so it's grabbing my experience right there. Now it's grabbing my education. It's going to grab the projects, just as much information as it can possibly gain from your LinkedIn profile. So that way you have to answer the least amount of questions as possible, because that's the whole reason we made this thing. So you have to answer less questions. As you can see, it stopped moving right here, but we still got this guy spinning away in the corner. That's because what he's doing is writing down all of that information that he got from your LinkedIn profile and remembering it, so that if they ever ask you a question on a job application that could be answered from your LinkedIn, you don't have to answer that question again. We're going to go ahead and remember that information, then we're going to use it to answer whatever applicable questions they might ask you on a job application. This whole thing takes around maybe a minute to remember all of the information, maybe even longer if you have a super extensive LinkedIn, but definitely worth the wait. As you can see, already finished. Now we have 52 Q&As. Now a Q&A is essentially just a piece of information about you. We remember these things as quote unquote questions, because that's how we are going to be using the information. We're going to answer questions on a job application. So for instance, your address. This is a default address. Of course, it didn't come from your LinkedIn. We just filled it in with a default value, but you want to go ahead and fix those things like that. But it will get other things correct, like your city. It pulled this from my LinkedIn. So if I go here and I view my profile, it actually knows that I'm in South Houston, Texas, United States. Company, Coder Camps. That's not necessarily correct. That's just a school that I went to. But it does say that somewhere in my headline. So yeah, right here. That's why it thinks that it's part of that company. But any answer you don't like is editable. You can change it. So let's say I want to change this one. I live at 1200 Travis, right? So I save that change. Now, it's pretty much ready to use. I say that's the best way to go ahead and go through that stuff. The question mark actually means it's unconfirmed. And once it is confirmed, then it'll actually not be showing that question mark anymore. But just to see that it works, we can go ahead and pull open a job application that has some items on it, right? We're gonna fill that form out. And you just give it a second, and then it should, boom, go ahead and fill out some information. Now this is wrong, and this is wrong. We don't want that stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna search for these questions. So first one that it got wrong was my phone country code. That's completely wrong. Actually, first thing you're gonna do is refresh the Q&As by opening and closing it. It used to be 52, now it's 55. You know why? Because it wrote down all three of these questions along with their answer. So if we go to email, jordaneasy@applybots.com, email address, Christy Jordan, right? It didn't necessarily get that one wrong because that was the only question, the only options that we had. But it did get the phone country code wrong. So what you'll do is you'll look for phone country code. This is wrong. We're gonna say United States +1, right? We're gonna copy that value. We're gonna stick it in there. We're just gonna update both of those. Second one it got wrong, the phone number. Yeah. So I mean, these Q&As can act kind of funny because it's such dynamic information. But if you're ever in doubt, you just close that thing, open it back up, and you have the most up-to-date Q&As. This is what's actually in the database and being remembered. So 281-555-5555. Copy that. We can actually put it down here. Or we could delete either one of these if we wanted, right? But we're just gonna save those changes. Now if I fill this form out again, it's gonna fill it out with the correct information. Boom. So now we have all of our information correct. And we can do this as many times as we want. We had to correct those answers one time, and now we can just keep on using them. Boom. And even, stuff like this, fill it out. It's going to remember this question, it's going to come up with the best answer it can, and it's going to allow us to change that answer if it's not true. We're going to close that, open it up, and we're going to search for Linux. How many years of work experience do you have with Linux? So as you can see, it already remembered that question. Now, let's say we actually have 2 years, not 1. So next time it asks a question about how much years of experience we have with Linux, we're going to write number 2 down. So close that, open it up. Oh, look at that. I thought it didn't work, but it was actually taking a little while. So yeah, that right there, that works. It works on Indeed as well. So if we came here, the main thing we made it for was sure, you could search it, I don't care. The main thing I made it for was these major questions here, these common ones, but it pretty much works on all of them. But if you fill this out, boom, are you authorized to work in the United States? Should hit yes. Do you have a valid certificate, certified management accountant credential? Probably not, I don't. Accountant. So if you did have one, you would go there and you would change that to yes. All you gotta do, copy this question, put it there, right? And it will pull up the question. So you can change it as you like, and this pretty much works on any job website. If you're ever having trouble, you close it, open it back up. If that doesn't work, you just log out, log back in, right? And these are pretty much the ways that you're gonna reset everything. Boom. Right. So that's it.